Hello, my beloved brothers and sisters. This is John Tinsley with Everlasting Rock Ministries. Just recently, the Palestinian President ABBAS paid the man of Vatican City a visit. ABBAS and Pope Francis had some discussion. Pope Francis has indeed been getting around lately, and he has been the most active pope in recent history. He's had private meetings with people such as Barack Obama, some choice religious leaders, and even with the likes of the CEOs from Apple and Google. But what does this all mean? Let's see what ABBAS and Pope Francis had to say. But before I begin, I'd like to ask you to give this a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to my channel for more Bible-based videos. May God bless you. Palestinian President Abbas visited the Vatican on Saturday, January 14th, before inaugurating his country's new embassy to the Holy See, where he met with Pope Francis for a discussion focused largely on peace efforts in the Middle East. Described as cordial on January 14th communique from the Vatican, the discussion between the two began by making note of the good relations they enjoy, which were sealed by a global agreement made by them in 2015, recognizing the essential aspects of the life and activity of the church in Palestine. In this context, mention was made of the important contribution of Catholics to favoring the promotion of human dignity and assistance for those most in need, especially in the fields of education, health, and aid, the communique read. Conversation then shifted to the peace process in the Middle East, and hope was voiced that direct negotiations between the different parties may be resumed to bring an end to the violence that causes unacceptable suffering to civilian populations, and to find a just and lasting solution. To this end, it is hoped that with the support of the international community, measures can be taken that favor mutual trust and contribute to creating a climate that permits courageous decisions to be made in favor of peace. You know, it's ironic to continue to use the terms peace or safety. Let's see what the Bible has to say in the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Let's continue with the discussion. An emphasis was also placed on the importance of safeguarding the sanctity of holy sites, which are frequently a source of division and conflict between the different faiths in the area, as well as other conflicts affecting the region. After his 23-minute meeting with the Pope, Abbas then met with Vatican Secretary of State Cardinal Pietro Parolin and Archbishop Paul Gallagher, Secretary for Relations with States. He arrived at the Vatican at 10:10 a.m. with his 10 to 15 person delegation and was met by the Pope, who told him in Spanish, "It is a pleasure to receive you." The President responded, saying, "I am happy to be here." Pope Francis gifted the President the official medal for the Jubilee of Mercy, as well as a copy of Amoris Laetitia and Laudato Si, telling Abbas they had been translated. For his part, Abbas gave the Pope 5 gifts: an icon of the face of Jesus, a stone from the side of Golgotha, and the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, a golden icon of the Holy Family, the book Palestine and the Holy See, and a documentation of the work being done in restoring the Basilica of Nativity. When they sat down at the desk before the start of the meeting, the Pope told Abbas, "Things are arriving to me from your area." And at a certain point in the discussion, the president spoke to the Pope about the new embassy, telling Francis, "It's a sign that the Pope loves the Palestinian people and loves peace." The president was in Rome to inaugurate the new Palestinian embassy to the Holy See, just 1 year after the Holy See-Palestine Agreement, signed May 13, 2015, took effect and made official the Holy See's recognition of the State of Palestine. The fact that the Holy See referred to its agreement with the State of Palestine rather than the Palestinian Liberation Authority, or another title, immediately gained international attention. It was hoped that the agreement will encourage the international community to acknowledge an independent state of Palestine alongside Israel. In addition to referring to Palestine as a state, the Vatican-Palestinian Agreement also recognized freedom of religion in Palestine and outlined the rights and obligations of the church, its agencies, and its personnel in the territory. The comprehensive agreement followed upon a basic agreement that was signed in February of 2000. The bilateral commission was established after the Holy See and the Palestine Liberation Organization strengthened official relations. After the 2000 agreement, negotiations between the parties picked up again in 2010, with the aim of contemplating the basic agreement. In his January 9th speech to the diplomatic corps accredited to the Holy See, Pope Francis renewed his appeal for Israel and Palestine to resume dialogue aimed at a stable and enduring solution that guarantees the peaceful coexistence of two states within internationally recognized borders. No conflict can become a habit impossible to break. Israelis and Palestinians need peace. The whole Middle East urgently needs peace. Sure, this all sounds good. Everybody wants to have peace. Pope Francis is going around having all these relations with the kings of the earth and the merchants of the earth, getting them to rely solely on him to bring peace on earth. Well, I have to be honest. This man is no more holy than the guy next door. Revelation chapter 17 verses 1 through 8 says, "And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit up on a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. I'm not going to go into much detail in this video about this because I do have plans for future videos on this. But I just want to point out that this vision depicts a harlot riding on a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, and is full of blasphemy. In this same chapter it tells us that the 7 heads are 7 mountains, and the 10 crowns are 10 kings. According to the book of Daniel, chapter 7, a beast represents a nation or a kingdom. A woman represents a church. So you have this corrupt church riding this kingdom, and it sits on waters, which according to the book of Revelation chapter 17 and verse 15 is a multitude of people. What is this? There is only one nation that fits this description, and that is the papacy. Vatican City, my beloved, and the Pope of Rome is the head. This Roman Catholic power is the same power that murdered over 50 million Christians from the years of 538 AD to 1798 AD, and now this harlot is forming illicit relationships with the kings and the merchants of the earth to usher in to what they call peace, and if you don't comply with their laws, you will be martyred. And to be more specific, the International Sunday Law. Friends, the spirit that dwells in Rome has not changed. Can a leopard change its spots? Friends, the leopard is on the prowl. The book of Revelation chapter 16 verses 13 through 14 says, "And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils, working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty." By the decree enforcing the institution of the papacy in violation of the law of God, our nation, the United States, would disconnect herself fully from righteousness. When Protestantism shall stretch her hand across the gulf to grasp the hand of the Roman power, when she shall reach over the abyss to clasp the hands with spiritualism, when, under the influence of this threefold union, our country shall repudiate every principle of its constitution as a Protestant and Republican government, and shall make provision for the propagation of papal falsehoods and delusions, then we may know that the time has come for the marvelous working of Satan, and that the end is near. Through the 2 great errors, the immortality of the soul and Sunday sacredness, Satan will bring the people under his deceptions. While the former lays the foundation of spiritualism, the latter creates a bond of sympathy with Rome. The Protestants of the United States will be foremost in stretching their hands across the gulf to grasp the hands of spiritualism. They will reach over the abyss to clasp the hands with the Roman power. And under the influence of this threefold union, this country will follow in the steps of Rome in trampling on the rights of conscience. Papists, Protestants, and worldlings will alike accept the form of godliness without the power, and they will see in this union a grand movement for the conversion of the world and the ushering in of the long-expected millennium, when our nation, the United States, shall so abjure the principles of its government as to enact a Sunday law. Protestantism will in this act join hands with popery. It will be nothing else than giving life to the tyranny which has long been eagerly watching its opportunity to spring again into active despotism. Brothers and sisters, it's time to get ready. This is happening as we speak. So if you enjoyed this video, give this a thumbs up, share it, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more Bible-based videos. God bless you, and I hope to see you all next time.